Hey folks, how you doing? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to yet another video out on my bike. Bit of a wild camping stroke bike packing adventure today. I'm heading towards Lincoln. It's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm not going too far. It's a ride about enjoyment. It's a leisurely ride. It's not about the numbers. The number I'm going to give you is 50 miles. So I don't know if you can tell, I'm going through a wooded area at the moment. This is Loughton Woods. It's not too far from home. I intend to do some more wild camping late autumn and into the winter time. Like I say, it's closer to home. Those nights are drawing in slowly. So it's good to keep your options open for wild camping a little bit closer to home, wherever you can. So in today's ride, I'm heading towards Bardney, the village of Bardney, which is the other side of Lincoln. Be settling down the Lincoln Waterway. That is the big plan. To a spot I've settled out a few times in the past. If you watch previous videos, you'd have seen the spot. Or I could go to Tupholme Abbey. I meant to go there earlier this year, but I got there and there's a car parked up, so I didn't bother. I went straight into the woods at Soothway. Bit of off-road cycle path towards Lincoln. Just left Saxelby in the A57. It's going to take me straight into the city centre. See all those boats moored up. Follow the Lincoln Waterway to Bardney, where I'm going to stop in the. Well, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to drop into the co-op. I've been to a co-op for a while. Actually, I'm fibbing. I went to a co-op in Sizzlestone. Well, you know what I mean. I've not been to a co-op properly for a couple of months. Anyway, I'm going to stop there. Not going to stop there. I'm going to drop in, grab some food, and take it to camp with me. Probably a tin, chili con carne, something like that. Maybe some rice. I prefer pasta though. Pasta's a bit safer to cook, so I'm going to look out for some pasta. And I need some breakfast as well in the morning, because I didn't bring anything with me, so could have brought some oats, I guess. That's the Lincoln Marina. I've never been down there. Most of you noticed already, but I'm not on my GoPro. I'm on my phone, because as you probably say, I'm looking that way instead of that way. Keep getting it wrong. I've brought my GoPro with me, but guess what? It's all charged, everything. All in its cradle. I've got the micro SD card. Sat in the Mac at home. The site of the Brayford Keys. Hive activity. I've just noticed, since I bought this second-hand phone, there's a lot of light comes through on the lens just there, and I think it's because there's a protective case on it. Yeah, it's one of those Gorilla cases. You can see it bubbling away in the corner right now. I was just about to say, no doubt probably tell on camera, but it's actually getting pretty dark. In fact, I've already turned my front light on. So this is a spot. Woodhall Spa there, bench there, and an important bench there as well. But I'm not going to set up just here. I'm going to roll my bike along a little bit. I'm not getting away dead early. Got 100 miles to do tomorrow. Anyway, enough natter. I'm going to go and get myself set up while there's enough light. And maybe if I get enough light in the tent, we'll talk about the TCR. If not, it can wait till the morning. Right, let's get moving. Let's get that tent set up. Oh, and another thing that I've got to bring with me, a drawstring bag. So you know what it's like carrying a carrier bag around. We'll try it for 10 miles. Just one more thing. I have a habit of not putting stuff in my back pockets. I like to carry stuff on the bike, but sometimes I do make exceptions. So let's see what I'm carrying. Packet of Pringles, Texas barbecue, okay, and also a bottle of water, 1.5 litres, fit neatly in my back pockets. See, now I showed you those, I should show you what else I brought with me, really, shouldn't I? Let's have a look. Okay, so I've got some pasta 1 yogurt, a treat, snack, 4 cornflake cluster bites, stag, chili con carne, some cider. I saw this one, it was on offer, Strongbow Ultra Dark Fruit Cider. It was, yeah, £4.15 instead of £6 odd. And a second yogurt as well, all in there. And my GoPro without the bloody micro SD card in it. Well, good morning folks. I had a good night's sleep. As you see, the outer's gone. It's just off to the side, drying, because I'm out the sunshine here. The sun's not going to rise for another hour, so I've just stuck it on the grass, drying a little bit. So actually, what I'm actually doing now is starting to pack away a little bit. I've also got the stove on, just boiling some water for some coffee. No room for AeroPress. So I've just got some of these sachets I've had for a while. So got like a chocolate one, Belleroom, very posh. It's got the royal seal on it. Or Nescafe, which hasn't got the royal seal on it. So let's talk about TCR a little bit. Plenty of people have been asking down in the comments on various videos, how's recovery going? Well, as you can see, recovery is going quite well enough that I can ride a bike, and it's had to because when I started the TCR, I drove down to Brussels. At the end of it, got a plane back home to England. It was actually quite difficult to organise. Well, it was easy to organise, I guess, but it was just so much more expensive to take a plane to Brussels. So I've got a car that I need to pick up in a couple of weeks' time, which means I've had to commute to work by bike. So I've had to be good enough to ride a bike. So yeah, I've had no choice really. It's an hour and 20 minutes by bike, so it's not a short distance by any stretch. So yeah, recovery is going okay in that respect. So hopefully that answers that one. I'm recovering well, and I do recover quite quickly. And to be fair, in the TCR, I know on reflection I did not push myself enough in terms of speed. It was a mean feat, that's for sure. And I'm sure, you know, I appreciate all the comments like, oh yeah, it's fantastic, it's big enough to complete, but I wanted to do better. And if I get the opportunity to do TCR again, I want to push myself even more. I've certainly learned a lot of lessons. So let's talk about lessons learned, shall we? Can't really call it faffless, because it's not really about faffless, it's sleepless. Yeah, I spent a lot of time sleeping, to be fair. Sorry, I'm just checking the stove out, making sure the water's boiling still. Yeah, and this comes down to in the first few days I had a lot of issues with cramp in the legs, and you know, I kind of slept. When I did sleep, I still got cramp. It didn't ease up really. So I really need to sleep less, discipline myself more. When I stick my alarm on, I need to get up and actually move. You know, they do say that when you're in a bivvy, it's easy to get moving quicker than a tent, and it is true, but I still have issues not moving quick enough. So that's one lesson I've learned from the TCR, not just from the TCR. I knew it would be an issue, so I need to reduce that time sleeping really. Get down, sleep, move quickly, faff on the bike if I have to at the beginning until I got going again. So yeah, sleep less. The next lesson I need to learn is, I don't know if I can really do much about it, because I am what I am when it comes to hills, and that is to go fast on hills, push myself more, and you know, get out the saddle a bit more often rather than just trudge up a little bit. So yeah, get fast on those hills. Coming back to sleep less for a moment, I'm recorded by the trackers how much time you spent moving, how much stoppage time. So I think to assist me getting better, I need to be monitoring that stoppage time. I don't know as I go along, but basically I think if we do TCR again, I need to get that stoppage down from 50% to something like 30, I think. At least get it down an additional 20%. And I don't know if I'm kind of calling them lessons learned, but they're more of if I want to do well at TCR, this is what I got to do. And those are the two key things really: sleep less and get faster on the hills. But in terms of all things I learned, I guess don't need to take so much equipment. Well, I always knew this anyway. It's not a lesson learned. I always knew I had to take, as little as possible. And I guess there's a few things that I've took which I didn't necessarily need that I thought I would. So some of that is clothing, a few less items of clothing. But will this really help me go any quicker really? Because there wasn't that particularly heavy items. I did take a spare tyre. Okay, that's what, maybe 300-400 grams. So I could take that away. I'm thinking about taking the pedal cell out of the equation. I barely used it. Probably used it on one day, to be fair, to get the battery back up to half. The power bank must have got me through about 5 or 6 days, and I used the pedal cell to bring up to half again for the next 2. So I got 8 days sleeping outdoors. So it was useful, but I kind of defaulted, didn't I, to going into hotels after that point. I think the real answer is yes, I do need power source like that. But do I need a pedal cell? Do I need power generation? Do I need the dynamo? And then I think about the front light as well. So I'm still unsure whether I need a dynamo. I could equally take that 1600 mAh power bank and a smaller one. Again, that comes down to weight, doesn't it? Is the weight of the smaller power bank equal to the pedal cell? And if it's equal to the pedal cell, you might as well have the pedal cell, because the benefit of generating electricity, of course, outweighs the finite amount of power from a power bank. But you've got to count on the balance of if I'm carrying 20,000 mAh, can I just get by on that and then jump myself into a B&B? But again, I think I've realised it'd be nice to have a front dynamo just for the mountains really, just so you can see around those hairpins a bit better, because it's difficult with a regular light to do that kind of thing. Yeah, so I've got plenty of questions floating around unanswered. Anyway, I suppose I better make this coffee. What do I go for? Do I go for the Nescafe, or do I do for the chocolate? I've only got one Nescafe. Keep getting my fingers in the way. Or do I have, I've got 2 chocolates there. To be honest, I'm probably going to go for the chocolate because I've got 2 of them. It's a numbers game. Also, don't tell anybody, but I've actually got a 1.5 cider left, and there's no way I'm going to cycle around with that sort of drink packed away in a bag. That's a recipe for disaster, so shh. Cheers. I'm one of these people that thinks that, if you can drink beer, it's kind of nighttime activity, but I suppose it really matters. There's one tip I learnt from PBP. You don't really need a mug with you. A little bowl like this will suffice just fine. Talking of PBP, it's next year. So do I do PBP or do I do TCR? Got that dilemma now. Or do I do something else completely different? Because I've done both of those at least once. I was going to say I got to unfinished business with both of those, but I haven't really got unfinished business with PBP. What I set out to do when I did PBP back in 2019, left with the 84-hour group, and I simply finished. And that was my only objective at that time. I didn't set out to do any quicker or anything. I just wanted to make sure I was underneath the time. But I think if I do PBP, if that's what I choose, I'm going to go for the 80-hour group, and I want to get well under 80 hours. Given the things I've done since then, 4 years later, with TCR and everything else I've done between then, I think, I should be aiming under 70, something like that. And if I want to do that kind of thing, that kind of speed, the GoPro needs to stay at home, I think. Or better disciplined with what I'm filming, because I've seen it already. Do I really need to capture, the families with the stores outside,
you know, giving away free food and things like that. There's plenty of videos out there, you can watch them. I need to probably do something for myself and forget about the YouTube channel, just get out there, ride it. Yeah, I can take the odd picture and things like that. I've got quad lock now on the bike, you know, I'm a little bit more versatile. But, you know, I think if I really want to do successful, you know, I've got to leave the GoPro at home sometimes and not take video and that doesn't apply to the TCR so much, because I can still bring the time down and still get some video and things like that. But for a really short event like PBP over 3 days, you know, do I really need to be filming it? Anyway, I think that's enough for TCR talk at the moment. I might talk about it a little bit later, but what am I going to do now after this? So I'm going to put the tent away, get it back on the bike, but heading southwest to Corby Glen, which is in Lincolnshire, just in Lincolnshire. It's in the southwesterly most corner, and from there I'm going to be heading into Leicester to Wymondham, going through Wymondham Windmill there. Probably not going to stop because I'm on a bit of a budget now after spending so much money on TCR. Also, I can't find my bank card. I misplaced it somewhere, so I've only got a limited amount of cash for the shops, and I've not got my what's playing up. I've not got the Google Pay working properly yet with a bank card, and I've got a tiny little bit of money left in my Revolut, so I might have to use that. But I think the idea really is just going to swing around Wymondham really. But in Corby Glen, there's a spa there, so that'll probably be one of the places I'm stopping. And then I'm flying north through the Beaver Estate, and then down the hill to Bottisford, and then just kind of I think there's 1 or 2 roads after that I've not been on before, but after that it's kind of familiar roads back through Lincolnshire, and then I'm going to be stopping elsewhere as well for another wild camp. So, you know, there's a few bits to film on this, and hopefully you stick around to enjoy the experience with me. Well, this is a bit of a mystery. I suspect it's because of the temperature range overnight and being against the water, but really heavy dew. So this is actually in the inside of the tent. I've had the outside out for maybe 3/4 of an hour, so just turned it over about 10 minutes ago. But look how wet it is. I don't know if you can see very well on the camera, but it's very wet, and this is the inside. So yeah, I've not seen it as heavy as this before. Obviously I've had it, I should have probably started with the inside first and put that up to the sun and then turned it around, rather than doing it the other way around, but it is what it is now. I have to remember that for next time. So what I'm going to probably end up doing, I've got a spare co-op bag there, so I'm just going to chuck it into there, so it's not against the inner of the tent, it's in a separate bag. And if this, well, and when it comes to putting it up this evening, just put it inside out. If I don't rush, because I'm not in no rush, I've got 100 miles to do between now and this evening when it gets dark again. Fancy choosing one of the tallest trees. It's now 8:15 and the light is actually only reaching this part where I'll pitch the tent up. So yeah, another few minutes over there, and then I'll get going. So I can't believe I'm voluntarily heading towards the Lincolnshire Fens. Luckily not for too long. Heading towards Sleaford. That's when I start travelling west again. Stay away from the exceptionally boring long roads. It's got one long boring road heading away from the River Witham, the River Witham, heading towards the little village of Timberland on a road that I've never been to before. I was thinking to myself, I bet I could do a whole video about the roads you never take. And then I started thinking, that's quite a psychological subject. Can I talk about that for long enough in any sort of interesting manner? Because I guess we're all creatures of habit, really, aren't we? We stick to the usual routes and roads and things, and not just cycling, but
many aspects of life. We stick to what we know, but it's fun mixing up your routes and going different ways and things. See if you can find any roads in your area that you've never been down before. You'll definitely find out something you didn't know about your local area. Of course, local to me means many different things. What is local? What does local mean? It's hard to put distance on local, isn't it? As was proven during the lockdown, local means many different things to many different people. Oh, that was interesting. I just saw a group of bird watchers and I thought I'd ask them what they're looking for. I've never seen bird watchers out, say not 7 or 8, and I got chatting with them, called them bird twitchers. I don't know where that came from, so anyway, they're looking for a roller, whatever that is. They were just looking in the woods to see what they could find. Must have had a tip off. These rollers are about perfect conditions though, isn't it, for getting out and enjoying nature. I don't know if it's a thing in your county, but in Lincolnshire it's very much a thing to get a haystack shot. I mean, look at that. I mean, to be fair, I usually take it from the other side, but yeah, look, found some haystacks all by themselves. That reminds me of a story, and I'm talking about PvP again. It's on my mind because it's only next year, and I've told this story a couple of times. Imagine a haystack 10k from a 1200 kilometre ride, or maybe 15-20k. Looked really comfy, you're really tired, you're yawning, you just want to get off, you've had enough, and you pull your bike up, close your eyes for 5 seconds, and then someone in a motorbike comes along and goes, "Ale, you get up, you wake up." That's exactly what happened during PvP, just as well, and it only had an hour and a half to spare. I got back on my bike and continued for the last 40 minutes or whatever it was. So I'm on the lookout for good bus stops again. It's in the village of Timberland. It's a pretty good find. It's nice and tidy. A few leaves you can brush out. I know there's a house back there, but as long as you're quiet, if you need it, here it is. Timberland, Lincolnshire. Anyway, I actually stopped for more hygienic reasons. Chamois cream. So, why did the chicken cross the road? Just thought of a new idea for a video or route. Trying to link as many routes with fords in them as possible. Hello gentlemen. So as you can see, if you live around here, I'm out to enter Sleaford. So one of the locals told me this is Nev Crane. Used to own a bike shop locally. So anyway, you're probably asking yourself, why am I going to the Netherlands? Haven't you just been all the way across to Europe? It's expensive to get to Brussels from Burgas and it requires stops, so I didn't bother. So that's why I'm going to the Netherlands. Netherlands via the Hook of Holland, a ferry between Hull and the Hook of Holland, cycling down through the Netherlands to Belgium and then getting a ferry back the next day into Harwich. So yeah, a bit extra additional cost I could have done without. Now this is something you didn't see a lot of in Europe during my TCR. Single track road. We don't see any single track in Europe, or very little, and if it is, it's not for cars. And pretty much all the roads that I chose were wide enough for 2 cars to pass each other, or a car and a bike at least. It was brilliant. Just had an idea. See some red berries on the trees. Saw a few berries when I was doing the TCR during the parkour. Ones you can eat, like brambles. As I was doing that parkour, I was thinking to myself, I've not got enough food to last me here. Which turned out to be wrong, but I filled half a bottle up with blackberries or red berries or whatever they call them there. Nice little treat. In the end though, at the end of that parkour, needn't to worry, I'd had food left. But yeah, the ones over in Bulgaria were a little bit like our red ones, except more vibrant colours. Oh, it's a black one. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, that feels good. I don't think many people pick bamboos nowadays, so they're very unlikely to have chemicals on them. Gone nicely in my water bottle. Lovely. It'll get clean in there when I get to the bottom of it. It's just gone 7 on the evening. I've changed the destination due to time constraints. I'm now going to West Bridgeford, Hoveringham, that area. I'm going to go to my usual spot, and if it's free, plonk myself right there. Here's my spot for the night. So it's Bank Holiday Monday. We're coming up to 8:30 now. I'm still here, and yes, I'm wearing my straps on the inside out. This is a tip if you ever go bike packing. You need to go for the number 2. You can quickly get access. So these will all go back underneath later on when I actually pop to move. And another tip, I can get asked in the comments below, what do you do about your bike? Are you ever worried about it being stolen? So there's a number of things you can do to make sure, you know, people can probably just pick your bike up, but generally people will just try and pull it away. Well, more likely anyway. So what I tend to do is got a strap around the fork and the wheel there. So that's one place I've got it. I've also got bungee cords randomly wrapped around things. I've also got the tent peg running through the tyre and into the ground. And there's another couple Velcro straps there as well, between the wheel and the frame of the bike. So yeah, that's essentially what I do. As many things as possible to secure the bike, to deter any would-be thieves. I also take everything off the bike the night before as well. So I've taken the light off, obviously I've taken my GPS off, emptied the top tube bag, and that's it. I can assure you, I didn't go to all the effort during the TCR though. It's not practical to do that for 2 solid weeks in a row. You just have to, you know, cross your fingers and hope that you know you're okay. But generally, you know, you're hidden out of the way somewhere, so you don't have to worry about all that kind of thing. Right, guys, it's actually pretty nippy out there. There's no sunshine. The wind's turned to the east, so it's going to be pretty cool the next few days. Anyway, I need to have some breakfast, get moving. Breakfast drink this morning is Thatcher's. I don't know if you can see that there. I've got 2 cans left, so it'd be a shame to waste it. So breakfast today consists of, instead of going for yogurt, I've gone for something a bit of solid in it. So I've gone for these nomadic cereals, and you get the yogurt underneath. So I got for them. Got 2 blueberries, and I'm gonna use up all the coffee as well, so make some water. There's a campsite through the fields over there, so I'm not too worried about whether I run out of water as well. So let's tuck in. Hoveringham Sailing Club there. So I'm heading towards the cow field and eventually out the other side, drop into the campsite just to get some water because I used it all in the end. So I've just stopped in Fiskerton by the side at the River Trent. Tell you 2 things. First off, decided I'm going to follow the NCN Newark, north of Newark, for a little while. Second thing is the bike. I wanted to show you what bike I'm riding today. For those of you who've not followed my bikepacking adventures. So this is the Roo. I think it's the Foray 17. It's just hiding behind the strap there. The Wattle Brothers pack on top tube bag. Got an assortment of things. We've got the pegs rolled underneath. They're held on with
a volet strap in the middle, and a couple of Velcro straps from Polaris. There's one on the left and one further across on the right. Yeah, so this is just a dry bag wrapped around the stem with a volet strap or wallach strap, whatever they call it. So, but everything's accessible, all the gears work, it doesn't get in the way of the steering, so jobs are good. And then I've got a Cat-Eye Volt 1300 light, which I've not needed, but I brought anyway. Quad lock on front, because this is my commuter bike, so I can just stick my phone on the top there and don't worry about GPS and stuff. So yeah, it's got marathon tyres. This is the basic marathon tyre. I say basic, it's got a punch 11 level 5 according to Schwabe, and this is the plus I got from the Marathon Plus I got from Halfords yesterday. So top rating on that one's 7. And as you can see on the back here, I'm going to use the word again haphazardly. I've got some bags tied on with bungee cords. Now normally this would suffice, but I've done a little bit off-road riding today, so you know, panniers probably be a bit better, but I don't have any proper panniers unfortunately. I could do with some like oat leaves or something, but the budget doesn't stretch that far. This is the Toe Peak one. I can't remember what model it is, but basically it's got I think it's a smart rack or something, because you can get their trunk bag, which I do have, and that contains my work laptop and clothes for work and things. What else have got? A charge saddle. I think I'm going to explore the ones which have got the hole in it. Forget what they call it. I think I might need those for my road bike really, because sometimes they're a bit uncomfortable, and a lot of bike fitters seem to swear by those. I was watching a video, I think it was one of Francis Cade's ones, and the bike fitter on there, his name escapes me right now. He said it's very rare that somebody would have a regular saddle nowadays without the hole in it, but you know, I am an exception to the rule. Then it's got a couple of water bottles at the top. As you say, very mixed match. Got a Sporty HQ one, and I got one by Chapeau. Gearing wise, it's a Shimano 1134. Pedals, regular cleat ones. I was saying to myself this morning again, I wish way back when I got into biking, I actually just got mountain bike pedals and mountain bike shoes for all my bikes, because it's so much bloody easy. It makes so much more sense. I'm sure there'll be a point in history where, you never know, everybody will start using mountain bike pedals, because they just make sense. They're double-sided, dead easy to get into. Shoes don't F up all the time, walking in gravel. You know, you can go more places. It's not just for mountain bikes, you know, it's for gravel bikes, and dare I say it, hybrids and roads as well. It just really makes sense. So I wish I saved all that money and got mountain bike pedals, etc. That's just tickled me. Look at that registration number. Not one of those days where I'm going to be racing around for numbers. Just like yesterday, leisure miles. The only number I'm concerned about is that battery life, 6%. I started with 35 like a couple hours ago. This Wahoo is knackered. And in no way is it 21 degrees Celsius. So yeah, I'm going to be switching over to my phone soon. So that's where the quad lock comes in useful, because I can just stick my phone on there. I've got a subscription to Ride with GPS, and it gives you audio cues as well as directions. So I better just stick that on there for leisure and recording my rides really. It's up the road and look, screen's gone off, got to 5%, and then just no low memory warning or anything usual, just black screen. Riding next to a warning for quicksand. So comforting, isn't it? You know, thinking about using my phone more for like riding with GPS. The only disadvantage, it's quite a big one really, is power consumption on mobile phones is obviously a lot higher than a dedicated cycling computer. However, ride with GPS, and most of the power consumption comes from the screen being on. Ride with GPS, it has audio cues, and the screen doesn't have to be on. It leaves your phone in locked mode, blank screen, and talks you through it. So maybe, well, definitely, it doesn't use as much power as perhaps some apps out there that provide the same sort of feature. The phone is currently at 35%. Will it make it home? Got no external power pack, it's all been drained. And of course I'm filming on this as well, so let's just see how it fares. I've just stopped for a nature break, and I can't believe this cider still remains intact in my back pocket. Winner. Hopefully it'll make it all the way home. I've actually just found a better spot down the Lincoln Waterway. That's the only bit I'm going to show you. But yeah, it looks like a prime candidate for some closer to home wild camping later this year. And when I say Lincoln Waterway, I mean NCN 64. So I finished my water bowl. It's time for a bit of a treat, I think. Cider! Richard Lake Biking Adventures, sponsored by Thatcher's Gold. Let's see what it pours like. Gotta wait for the froth now. Look at that. Hey, can't see it, but it's very frothy. I might get bored and just drink the rest out of the can. Oh yeah. This might take a while. So as you can see, I'm pretty close to home now. I'm just going to check on the phone, see how well it's doing at recording this ride. So I've just checked off camera. It's down to 18% from 35, so less than 20%, and it's recorded 60 kilometers. So I think that's pretty good going. On that note, I'm going to just keep on moving. It's starting to get a bit chilly, and I've got a barbecue to look forward to when I get back home. So I'm looking forward to some burgers, and we'll see what else my mum and dad have whipped up. So I hope you enjoyed my ramblings once again, and sorry for looking over there and not over there. It's difficult to do on a phone. So next time I will remember to take out my micro SD card with me. Can't believe I forgot to bring it with me. So just be coming down a bit dead weight once again. So yeah, I'm going to leave it here. I'm nearly home. I'm quite pleased with the ride with GPS results. If you've got any comments, questions, you know what to do. Stick them down below. Anything, any sort of topic. TCR or that Pure Peak Grit, which is coming up this weekend. 600 kilometers, 13,500 meters of climbing. It's going to be wicked. It's going to be hard work, though, that's for sure. Of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well. Hit that notification button as well if you want those reminders coming up on your phone, so you don't miss anything on the channel. It's great to have you on board if you're just joining as well. And finally, a big shout out to Derek as well, who bought me 3 coffees via Buy Me Coffee, link down below. So take care, I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.